Good evening, everyone. Can I please call for a motion and a second to reconvene the public meeting?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for our servicemen and women? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the district clerk pro tem please call the roll?
Ms. Torregrossa? Here. Mrs. Di Lorenzo?
Present.
Mrs. Napolitano-Ferno?
Present.
Mrs. Mallon?
Present.
Dr. Centimore?
Here.
Mrs. Iannatelli?
Present.
Mr. Kohler-Hefar?
Engage.
Mrs. Poppy?
Present.
Mr. Hauser?
Present.
Mr. Spencer?
Thank you. Can I please have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the November 12, November 19, and December 5th, 2024 meetings?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Are you guys abstaining?
I'm an aye.
Thank you. Aye. We have Mr. Mallory here today with us for some fantastic athletic recognition, so I will pass the floor.
All right, thank you for having me here tonight. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for this opportunity to talk about our fall athletic season. I'd like to thank our superintendent, assistant superintendents as well. And just thanks to all the coaches, the athletes, the parents, and the support staff such as custodial, security, our trainer Renee for making this another wonderful season. I usually come up here, the goal is to just do kind of a quick recap, and the tradition is to honor our county champions and our state qualifiers and potential state champions. And I kind of read off these numbers, and the numbers are hopefully some evidence as to what our goal always is, which hasn't changed, that we want to be consistently competitive, we want to do well in the classroom, and we want to do it all with class. So these are things I've kind of mentioned before, and then we get into the quick recap. But I just want to say what I probably don't talk about enough is sort of the intangibles or the intrinsic benefits of our athletic program. Because they can't be measured in numbers. So for example, this fall between some of the events like honoring our veterans and our first responders, our Autism Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Month, Desi Strong fundraisers, these are great events, and there's a real source of pride that you could feel among not just the participants, but the community that comes and just watches and gets to be a part of it. Whether it's, running the concession stand or setting up the balloons or collecting the money for the donations to cancer, this is really much more important than the numbers that I'll rattle off. And I probably don't bring that up enough. And I just felt that the sense of that pride for this community, was probably stronger this fall than it has been. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. With that being said, so how'd we do? So we had 251 scholar athletes. That means they maintained a 90 average or better. 9 of our 13 athletic teams were considered scholar athlete teams, which means 75% or more of the roster held a 90 average or better. Very proud of that. The 251 scholar athletes and the 9 scholar athlete teams actually surpasses what we did in the spring, which I thought was pretty phenomenal. So it's great to see that we're always trying to get better. We had multiple sportsmanship awards, not just at the high school level, but at the middle school level as well. We had a Coach of the Year award given to Amy Cohen, our tennis coach. We had two undefeated league champions in girls cross country and girls tennis. And for girls tennis, that hasn't happened in a long time. Football got back to what they call the Big Four championship. been a while since we've got back to that game, which we're very proud of. You'll hear a lot about our girls swimming team in a moment. They were undefeated league tournament and league champions, and they had multiple state qualifiers. Boys soccer got back to the county final for the second time in the last 4 years, had a great run. Girls soccer, despite multiple injuries to key players, one being arguably the best player on Long Island, Caitlin Mallon, despite these really kind of tragic injuries for a team that had incredible hopes. They overcame that and they made the playoffs for the 8th straight year. So that was, again, there's no championship banner for that, but that's another part of this intangible piece. What was a nice day was to see those kids back for the very last game and a chance to play in a playoff game. 12 out of the 13 teams made the playoffs. So we're proud that we're consistently competitive across the board. There are some school districts that win a state championship in the same sport every year. That's very exciting, but I'd rather have multiple teams having success than one team having the ultimate championship. So we're proud of what we did this fall. And again, it's a tribute to our athletes, our coaches, and all the support staff. At this time, I'd like to bring up Emily Anderson. Come on up, Emily. So Emily is only a junior, and Emily was named All-State to soccer for the sport of soccer as a goalie, which is extremely hard to do. And she was also given the award for the best large school, based on the division, goalie in Suffolk County. So 2 incredible honors for Emily. Coach Cav could not be here tonight, but he asked me to read this. Emily is an exceptional talent and a true leader, both on and off the field. As a junior, she earned the prestigious titles of Large School County Goalie of the Year and top-rated large school goalie in the state. Her remarkable season included 7 shutouts and conceded just 11 goals across 15 games, cementing her reputation as one of the best. Emily's dedication has already secured her a commitment to play Division I soccer at Loyola University in the fall of 2026. Beyond her skills in goal, Emily stands out for her leadership. She's the team's only underclassman captain, an honor bestowed by her peers, and she embodies the qualities of a vocal and inspiring leader. Her coaches rely on her to guide the team on the field, and her unwavering commitment to the T-Birds serves as a cornerstone of their success. Emily's passion, poise, and talent make her an extraordinary player and an invaluable teammate. Congratulations, Emily.
So I've seen Emily in action. She is amazing. Amazing. Next year is her senior year. Everyone should take the opportunity to come watch one of her games. She's amazing.
Now I'd like to call up our girls cross country coach, Mike Austin, to talk about another amazing athlete.
Okay, so I feel like I get to do this every year these days. Last year, I had the opportunity to stand up here and talk to you guys about the amazing season that Olivia DiGaetano had. It was spectacular. She set multiple school records, qualified for states, and had a top 25 finish there. Most people who don't know Liv would have assumed that there was no way that she would be able to top that. This year, however, in typical Liv fashion, she proved people wrong. Overcoming preseason sickness and the pressure of being ranked top 25 in Long Island, Liv went on to break 8 school records. She was the top runner in our league, going undefeated in dual meets and winning by an average margin of 45 seconds. She was all division, all county, and all section. Liv qualified for state championships again this year. At the state meet, Liv finished all state and ran the fastest 5K in Connect Quad history. Now, to give you an idea of how ridiculously fast that is, we have had multiple Division I scholarship athletes run for Connect Quad. We've had NCAA qualifiers run for Connect Quad, and Liv ran faster than all of them. With her amazing performance there, she qualified for the Federation meet. If you don't know what the Federation meet is a meet that brings together all the best public school, private school, Catholic schools, everybody in the state. She went there, and as you would expect, she ended up running fast enough to be all division there and set another school record. As a junior, I'm sorry, I left out another thing. Just recently, Liv was named to the All Long Island cross-country team, which means she is ranked as one of the top 7 athletes on the entire island. So Liv is only a junior, so I'm hoping that, I'm assuming that I will be up here next year with more kind things to say about Olivia. So congratulations, Olivia.
I have to say I've seen her run because my son is on cross country, so I've seen her. Olivia, you are fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
I was just going to say that I've seen Olivia run and amazing. She is an absolute athlete. She's an amazing runner. Everyone should take an opportunity next year to come and watch her.
And now I'd like to introduce Coach Chicalone to talk about our amazing swimmers.
Thank you, Mr. Mallory. I just want to take this time to thank Mr. Mallory for all his support to our program, the board, our superintendent who comes to our meets. It's appreciated more than you know. But these young ladies, it is a complete honor to stand before you and talk about these extraordinary young ladies. Not only are they talented and had a great season, but these ladies have showed resilience and teamwork every step of the way. Their excellence has inspired me tremendously, and definitely the younger athletes of the team. This year, we were undefeated league champions, going 8-0 for the season and winning the league tournament. We were a scholar athlete team as well. And this year we had 4 girls hit all state honors. We had 5 girls hit all county honors, and 11 girls achieved all league honors. So very proud of that. So I'd like to introduce the young ladies here. We had 5 girls make the state meet this year, starting with Amanda Tedesco. Come on up. Amanda qualified in the 50 freestyle, 200, and was part of our 200 freestyle relay and our 200 medley relay. Next, we have Shaylee Duran. She qualified the New York State Championship in the 100 breaststroke, was part of our 200 freestyle and 200 medley relay. Then we have Nikki Julik, who was part of our 200 freestyle relay and our 200 medley. Next, Ava Letieri. In our 200 freestyle relay and 200 medley. And last but not least, Addie Dorgan, who is our alternate for the 200 free and 200 medley relay. Ladies and gentlemen, the best part, these girls are 8th and 9th grade. So,
8th
and 10th grade. So all the beautiful hardware you see on their necks, within New York State, if you rank top 20, you consider all state. But these young ladies, if you reach the podium, which is top 10 in the entire state, obviously you receive medals. And these girls placed 9th overall in the entire state in the 200 medley relay. And as I said, they're only 9th grade and 10th grade. And we placed overall in a 200 freestyle, 16th overall in the entire state. So very, very proud of them. They really have shown us what power of hard work is. I am truly inspired them. I want to thank them for a great season. I'd like to thank their parents for all the support and thank their parents for giving me the opportunity to work with these fabulous young ladies. So congratulations, ladies.
Hold on. Just like to thank the board again for actually coming to the games, which is great. It's great to see you there, and the kids appreciate it. I think the last time we were all there, we were freezing out there in the last game. And Dr. Centimore for coming to so many games. Last note, just to give you an idea what 9th in the state is with this relay team, there's over 100 swim teams just on Long Island. Never mind the state. So I don't know what the number is, to be honest with you, but, you know, to be is that, okay, what is it? 400. So to be 9th out of 400 and to be this young, you know, the future is bright and the pressure's on coach not to screw it up. Have a good night.
Congratulations to all of the athletic teams, to all of our athletic winners tonight. You guys are amazing. To the 8th, 9th graders and 10th graders, only one way to go is up. Keep breaking those records. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to thank Mr. Mallory. Great job. You're like the proud papa up there. It was just, outstanding. I have the pleasure of visiting our teams, middle schools, high school, JV included, and I agree, the way our student athletes carry themselves, the character piece, certainly the academic component, when you hear over 200 scholar athletes, we love hearing that, and then the scholar teams, that is the essence of Connecticut and our athletic program. Mr. Mallory, our coaches, our student athletes, and the families that support them. Thank you all. We are so very, very proud.
So I will now open the floor for the first public comment portion of the agenda. And for anyone that may not know, the board voted a few meetings ago, maybe a few months ago, to have 2 public sessions where anybody in the public could come up and discuss any topics. It used to be where the first public comment portion was just for consent agenda items, and the second one was for whatever. And then a few meetings ago, we changed it where anybody could come to both public comment portion sessions. I know that Jax had wanted me to put out something on Parent Square, but that's not how the board communicates. So I didn't want to start that precedent, and we usually communicate on our board meetings. So that's why I said that I would make a statement today.
Since you brought me up, I'm going to respond. What I wanted was what we should be having in this community, which is open, transparent, truthful communication. I have heard from many parents this year that the communication piece is just not there. I requested it. It wasn't a hostile request. It was actually, I said, I think it would be great if we put this out there, whether it's you, the superintendent, or someone else. It should have went out. There is no reason why 2 months later, people should be coming up to me and saying, hey, Jack, why is it that we didn't know that we could have come to a board meeting and we could have spoke the first half hour? Why is it that, now you guys are allowing that? And I said, you stated to me, no, I think we should say it at a board meeting, but not everybody listens to these board meetings. It's unfair to the people who don't have the time or just don't want to. And I don't blame them. So there should be another way of communication, just like everything else. We try to be transparent, or we should. this should go out in another fashion, whether it's Dr. C, you put it out, or it doesn't have to go out. I don't recall me saying Parent Square. I think what I said was a communication needs to go out, whether it comes from the board, whether it comes from the super, and because you guys said no, I said, okay, I'm going to post it as myself on social media, because I said right before the meeting, which I told you, I said, because it's unfair for parents to not know that. And no board member should get denied asking for a communication to go out that just gives transparency and allows parents to come speak.
So I will call individuals forward one at a time. Please wait for my acknowledgement before stepping up to the podium. You should have received a number card from security on your way in. If you have not, please see a security guard in the back of the room. Any person wishing to address the board shall address the board president. Comments should be kept as brief as possible and relate to school matters only. Each person will be limited to 3 minutes for one or more topics. Individual persons, employees, parents, or children should not be identified by name, title, position, grade, or building. The use of foul language and threatening comments will not be tolerated, and the board will consider a recess until order is restored. In accordance with policy 1230, public comment will not exceed 30 minutes. If there are additional persons wishing to speak, the board may consider a motion to extend the time. Number 1.
Okay, first, I want to know if Albany has approved reworking of the swimming pool building.
I'm gonna let you go through your whole thing, and then we'll read.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason I ask is I don't know what our grant writer is doing, but this is a perfect job for the grant writer to go and look and get us some money towards this project. This is probably one of the largest projects we've got in a long time. And foundations like brick and mortar, they don't pay for salary, they don't pay for utilities, they'll pay for something that they can look at and their hands on. I have said it before, there's someone right here on Long Island, the Lion Gardner Foundation. They have so much money, it's unbelievable. That they want to give it away, and they can't even find people. I belong to a nonprofit that I do the accounting for, and I was out there to pick up their check. And believe me, they're easy to work with. They just wanted the normal kind of accounting. They wanted a separate checkbook. They wanted receipts for everything. Nothing normal that you would do as an accountant. They're right here on Long Island in the Hamptons. They do have certain times of the year when you can only approach them. I don't know what their schedule is now, but this is something the grant writer has to go after and go after now, because if they want to work with us on this project, I know reworking the pool is a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. Can I have a couple of seconds to tell a short story?
Go ahead, Ed.
My son graduated here 1995, and he played tennis. I don't think they had much of a tennis team, but they took him different places, and he played tennis. And he then went up to Cornell, up in Ithaca, and they have a day when the alumni come back, and they wanted a volunteer to play the alumni in tennis. So he raised his hand and he volunteered, and he beat the pants off the old men, of course. And he didn't know there was something, at the end. He got this fantastic, expensive bicycle for playing tennis up there. So it goes to show you. Well, he went on to bigger and better things too, because he graduated in 1999, and then he went on to med school, and it's a long story. And here's my youngest, and I have two other daughters that went to school here and also did well. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. And if anybody does know the answer to his swimming pool question?
Yeah, so I'm going to ask Mr. Allen if he could just pop to the podium, because I believe we have some work that is forthcoming. And then I'm just going to ask Ms. Poppy just to speak a little bit about some grant status.
I also wanted to just piggyback and ask him, did we find out, since we have the co-chair too, I hate to put anybody on the spot, I want to make sure, that the kids have someplace to swim. Yes. Okay, I want to just make sure that's been secured. Okay.
We'll have Mr. Mallory come up after Mr. Allen just to give us an update on that. Thank you, Mr. Mallory.
So the state has approved the project. We're in the process now of getting contractors to walk the site, to assess the drawings, make sure that everything that's in the drawings fairly represents the project that needs to be done. I'm hoping to be able to have all of those numbers secured and in hand in the next week or so. And with that in mind, the hope and the goal at that point is to start the project this winter, beginning of February. So.
Thank you. And we've secured, was it Sayville?
Yeah, so
I just thought there was a problem.
we had one school all locked up, ready to go, and they backed out at the last minute. But we're very lucky. Sachem has really stepped up. They're going to help us out with the boys' postseason. So the boys' varsity will finish all their regular season meets in our current pool. So they'll have their senior day, that last meet. And then hopefully, if all goes well, and we can start approximately February 1st, then the boys will go over and practice for their postseason at Sachem. And Sachem is also going to have our middle school practice there as well. There's always disruption, but when you look at, we're not going to affect two varsity teams, the girls or the boys, very much. Obviously, the middle school will have the most disruption to some minor degree, but considering that there has to be disruption when you're going to have a new pool, I think the goal, we hopefully achieved the goal of disrupting the least amount of kids and parents, and we have to prioritize the varsity, and that's kind of what we did.
Thank you. You know what? I'm so glad. Thank you to Sachem for stepping up. I did hear that something happened with Sayville. That's why I was asking. I wanted to make sure. Thank you to Sachem for doing that.
So Ms. Poppy is going to address the grants.
Sure. So our grant writer is working, and she will have an update prepared for the superintendent during the week of January 6th. So that Dr. Sedamore can share it publicly with the community during the January 14th Board of Education meeting.
Thank you so much. Is there number two?
Hi. On November 26th, New York State Assemblyman Doug Smith posted the letter from NYSED Commissioner Betty Rosa that participation in regionalization is optional. But tonight there's an agenda item to accept and approve a retainer agreement for the regionalization litigation. The wording from the special meeting was that this is challenging the exactment and enforcement of regionalization in New York State school districts. So since regionalization is optional, and I assume that this board is going to vote to opt out of regionalization and submit that by the deadline, what actually is the litigation as it relates to Connecticut? And also on the subject of litigation, the docket for the mascot suit is public, and there is currently a motion for an injunction that I've seen on there. So if the injunction fails, or if the suit fails, has the cost of replacing the mascot by the end of the 2024-2025 school year been part of the budget process thus far? Last we heard in public, There is a list of costs associated with the change, but it included some things that wouldn't need to be changed and wasn't itemized with what would need to be. So is there a firm list that is being included in budget discussions before we get to spring, and it needs to be shoehorned in at the expense of other costs?
So I'm going to let Dr. Centimore take the regionalization question. As for the mascot, we have gotten a very specific itemized bill on what we would need to replace should we have to change the mascot. The number stands at about $323,000.
So in terms of regionalization planning, and that's a key word, planning, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to our Board of Education and a number of other school districts across certainly the island, I believe the Lower Hudson Valley area as well, put a lot of pressure on the Commissioner, Board of Regents with regards to regionalization planning. So there was some modifications made recently. The Commissioner discussed it in a letter that was posted a few weeks ago, and then the Board of Regents just took action this week to modify language to, make it clearer that the planning component, I keep emphasizing that word, is optional, and that districts do have until January 15th to opt out of the planning piece. As of right now, that it's kind of traditional mail. They have to SED, State Education Department, has to receive that opt-out letter. After a board has passed a resolution, they have to receive it in hand by January 15th. That's the latest with that. The concern that remains is that when you go beyond the planning process, at which the state will now be going, beyond, and in terms of there being, requirements and obligations post-planning, once you start getting into implementation, and the district has been getting guidance from the law firm Regano LLC, Attorneys at Law, which is the retainer that you saw for approval. The board had a special board meeting several weeks ago to, basically in principle, look to move forward with this. And this is just the formal retainer component. But the attorney has provided some updated guidance that that law firm is still recommending to, and it's for the board's consideration, of course, to continue with the litigation because of the concerns that go from the planning to the actual implementation and the obligations, thereafter.
Thank you. Do we have a number 3?
Mrs. President, my name is Sean Getty, and my wife Christina and I are the parents of 3 children in the Connecticut Central School District. I'm here today not to represent my children, but to ensure that all students in the district have their legal rights protected. It's come to my attention that the Connecticut High School may have suspended students for social media posts.
We cannot discuss disciplinary act. Okay, I just want to make sure that no, that's fine.
It's come to my attention that this may have happened.
Correct. Okay.
May have suspended students for social media posts regarding the school or school personnel. While I would never condone using social media to share hateful words, it's the legal right of these students to express themselves as long as what they've said is not a threat and does not cause a significant disruption to the functioning of the school. This is not an opinion, but rather something that has been adjudicated across the country, including at the highest level of the judicial system. In the 2021 Supreme Court ruling in the case of Mahanoy Area School District versus BL, the court ruled that a school cannot punish a student for speech done outside of school hours at an off-campus location unless it is a threat or causes significant disruption to the school. Since this ruling, there have been multiple court cases across the country brought against school districts and the administrators who punish the student for violating their First Amendment right. I come to you today asking that you fulfill the responsibilities that you assume when taking your position, the most basic of these to be to protect the rights of our students. While I'm not stating that this is currently happening, I would ask that you investigate whether it's occurring. The district's code of conduct states that a student has a right to express one's opinion, either verbally or in writing, as long as it's done in a respectful manner. While I hope that's the goal of all parents, for their children to behave that way, it remains the responsibility of the parents when they are not at school. The punishment for hateful social media posts done off campus are the responsibility of the parent and not the school. And schools across the country seem to be overstepping their legal right when it comes to this matter. I believe it is now your responsibility to ensure that our district is not illegally violating our students' rights. Please note that's not something that should be taken lightly from the point of view of the student or the school. Children's lives can be radically altered if they receive a significant suspension for something that school is not allowed to punish them for. On a basic level, we're impacting the quality of their education, but what happens if someone doesn't get into their first choice of college because they have a suspension on their record and that wasn't legal? What message are we sending to our students if the school, the place where they should feel the safest, is violating their basic rights? I beg of you to take this as seriously as it should be taken. I believe that board members take on these positions because they care about and want to protect our children. Please carry out these responsibilities. I'd like to conclude my comments by saying that our daughters have been lucky enough to have some of the most amazing teachers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, and other personnel in the world, and I'm grateful for the Connecticut School District and giving this to them. Thank you for your time and your commitment to our school.
Thank you for your comments. Number 4.
Good evening. I know I only have 3 minutes, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Marisol, I've watched you at previous meetings apologize for Board of Ed members' behavior when people are standing at this podium. So I'm here tonight to ask, where's my apology? Where's Jax's apology? Let me explain. For a third time, you have witnessed an unhinged Melissa having a screaming episode and state to Jax, and I quote, "I feel bad for your children with a mother like you," end quote, while children were in the vicinity at freshman awareness. Now, this might have been directed at Jackie, but it is directed at my niece and nephew as well. Melissa has no children. So I really think while she doesn't understand the magnitude of what she said, to pass judgment on another Board of Ed member or another mother just in general is a pathetic and childish act at best. So again, I ask, where's my apology? Or was it that you were too held up in your own, in the moment, because you, Melissa, and April had been caught having an illegal meeting in the principal's office with APs and other admin for over an hour? You know, kind of caught with your hand in the cookie jar? Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that violate open meeting law? Or is it that this law just doesn't apply to the three of you? If this were the Jackies, you bet you'd be voting on an investigation right now. Then, on top of all of this, we have Melissa's mommy at the high school trying to rally
we cannot discuss
other
any
staff members to show up
I'm going to have to ask
in
you.
support of Melissa.
We cannot have you discuss any personnel.
What she
Can somebody
did
please cut her
wasn't
mic?
awful.
Ma'am, we cannot have you discuss high school personnel.
I'm not.
No, she is.
Finish just like everybody.
She can finish if she.
Mommy, I said mommy. I said mommy. I said mommy.
You cannot.
To
You
be
cannot
corrected,
discuss.
let's be corrected about what happened. So what I said when.
Hold on.
When
tell you right now, I'm a board member for a while because not for nothing.
No, you
for
can,
nothing,
you guys, and anybody, you cannot put small personnel in any building.
Very, very simple, and I mean very simple. My children are off limits. Do you understand? The next person who brings up my child.
I didn't. You remember the mistake.
I feel sorry for your children, a mother like you. That you said you don't even have children to be speaking. My son across the hall.
That is not what I said.
Answer.
To me, you just said, is this what you said? So now I'm going to answer. No, that is not what I was, thank God you're not my mom and you can't tell me what to do. To which you said better.
Take a look at you. Trust me.
Kids.
You said better than
I'm going to go to recess.
that came out of a kid like you who said something to me freshman a witness. A child.
Sure, yes.
And I know all the behaved than you.
Session is restored. There is a recess. Hello, Connecticut. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, I am calling for a motion and a second to adjourn the Connecticut Board of Education meeting.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion adjourned. Wishing everybody a happy holiday.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all.